The Healing Finger Game, Lesson 25, Victimland, the free self-help course by Vivienne Rauber, Swiss psychologist. Victimland, the land we spend most of the time feeling a terrible victim and suffering. Victimland. I imagine you have finished the Healing Finger Game, the 23 lessons of the self-help course, and we add now the lesson 24, Victimland, the land we spend lots of time feeling a terrible victim. You remember the left hand, each finger plays a victim. The thumb, the one who feels lonely. The index that is frightened. The middle finger that is angry. The ring finger that's sad. And the little finger that's joyless. And you remember we go and fetch the right hand that gets in touch with the universal mother and comes down to hold each finger until it feels balanced again. This finger feels loved, protected, full of strength, serene and full of joy. Now let's go back to Victimilandia, and we're going to go to Victimilandia with a relationship. I advise you, if you are married, do it with your husband or your wife, and if you are in a relationship, do it with that person. But you can also go to Victimilandia in relationship with your mother, your father, your daughter, your son, or a colleague, a work that you have at work, any friend. So please now choose one person that you would like to improve your relationship. And now that you have chosen that person, go to Victimilandia. Go to your thumb. And ask your thumb, when did you feel lonely with that person in the past? What was this person doing so that you felt lonely or not belonging or excluded? And let the thumb tell you. And then ask your thumb, and with that person nowadays, when do you feel lonely or not belonging? And wait for the thumb to tell you, and listen. And when the thumb has told you everything, then ask your thumb, please thumb, tell that person, your husband, your wife, your son, or whoever you are working with, exactly what you told me now. But tell it directly, saying his name, for instance. Hey, Vivienne, or John, or whoever that name is. You know, I'm going to tell you. I felt really lonely and abandoned in the past when you did that. And you tell him what. And you know, nowadays, I also feel lonely and alone every time you do that. Tell him what. And it makes me feel lonely when you do that and that. And when your thumb has told your partner or whoever you are working with everything, the thumb can say goodbye to that person and can leave us. Because now we're going to go and ask the index finger. Index finger, please tell me, when did you feel frightened because of that person or with that person in the past? And listen. And now, what frightens you with that person? Or when are you frightened? When this person does what? Does that make you feel frightened? And listen again. When the index finger has told you everything, ask the index finger now to tell that person directly. Telling that person, beginning with his name, like Vivienne or John or whatever his name is. I want to tell you, you know, in the past, when you did that and that, I really felt frightened. And today, I still feel frightened when you do that and that. And it frightens me that you do that and that. And when the index finger has told this person everything, you can say goodbye to that person and also goodbye to the index finger. Because now we have to go to the middle finger. And please ask now your middle finger. When did you feel angry with that person in the past? And because of what? What did that made you feel so angry? And it makes you angry when this person does what? and listen what the middle finger tells you. And also tell me, when does that person make you feel helpless, powerless? When this person does what? And when the middle finger has told you everything, tell him to say this directly to that person, starting with her name. Listen, John, I want to tell you that it made me feel very angry when you did that in the past. Very angry. And every time you do that, blah, 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 it makes me feel very angry. And when you do that, blah, 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 it makes me feel very helpless, powerless. It makes me feel helpless, powerless when you do blah, blah, blah. And it really makes me angry when you do blah, blah, blah. And when the middle finger has told this person everything, the finger can say goodbye to that person. And you can say goodbye to the middle finger. Because now we're going to go to the ring finger. And ask the ring finger, please tell me, when do you feel sad with that person? When did you feel sad in the past with that person? When this person did what? And listen carefully. And now, what makes you feel sad about or with that person? Listen carefully. And ask the ring finger now to tell this person directly. Listen, my partner or my daughter or whoever you're working with. It makes me feel very sad. And it made me feel very sad in the past when you did that and that. And every time you do that and that, I'm sad. I'm sad when you do that and that. And when the ring finger has told that person everything, the ring fingers can say goodbye to that person. And we say goodbye to the ring finger. Because now we're going to go to the little finger. And ask your little finger, tell me, when did you have to wear a mask with that person, with your partner, your mother, your daughter, or whoever you're working with in the past? And which mask did you wear? Why did you think you couldn't be just yourself and show your feelings and say what you think? And do you still wear a mask with that person? Which mask and why? And I'd also like to ask you, do you have problems with intimacy with that person? And listen carefully to whatever the little finger is telling you. And when the little finger has finished, ask him to say all that directly to the person, using her or his name. Listen, I need to tell you that I used to wear a mask because I didn't dare to be just the way I am, because I thought you would. And sometimes I'm still wearing a mask today when I think I can't really be myself. And I'm a little ashamed to tell you. But it's sometimes difficult to really feel closeness and intimacy. And when the little finger has finished, you can say goodbye to all fingers of Victimland, of the victim that feels lonely, the victim that feels frightened, the victim that feels angry or helpless, the victim that feels sad, and the victim that is joyless. And what you're going to do now, please, after you have finished this lesson, please write 5 letters. One letter is the thumb that will write a letter to the partner or whoever you have been working with, saying, dear partner, dear mother, dear son, or whoever you were talking to. When I was earlier with you, I felt very lonely when you did that and that. And today, whenever you do that and that, I feel excluded. I feel lonely every time you do that and that. And you sign the thumb, I would sign the thumb of Vivienne. And then you write the next letter. And this letter is the letter of the index finger that will write dear John, dear Vivienne, or the name. I felt very frightened when you did that and that. I'm still scared when you do that and that. I fear that and that. And at the end you sign the index finger of Vivienne's, or you sign of course with your name. Then you write a third letter. It will be the middle finger who writes it, saying, "Dear so-and-so, I felt very angry years ago when you did that and that. I still feel angry when you do that. I'm angry that blah blah blah." And you write everything. And you sign the middle finger of with your name. Then you write a fourth letter. It's the letter of the ring fingers. "Dear so-and-so, I felt sad when blah blah blah. I feel sad when it makes me sad that." And you sign Vivienne's ring finger, the ring finger, and you write your name. And then the last letter, the fifth letter, "Dear so-and-so, I was wearing a mask, the mask of strength or whatever, because I thought I couldn't show you my feelings, because then you would not love me anymore or whatever. And I'm still wearing a mask sometime, the mask of strength or whatever, because I wouldn't want you to see when I feel hurt or whatever. And also I want to tell you that I have some difficulty of showing when I love you, of feeling close and intimate." And you sign the little finger of and your name. And of course, you're not going to send that to that person. Instead, what you will do is continue with the next lesson, is the lesson, the Healing Finger Game 25, is getting out of Victimlandia, getting out of Victimland. Find it through my homepage, viviennerauber.com, English, YouTube, and you click on Healing Finger Game 26, Leave Victimland.